that you need to write on a piece of paper the largest check you can see your name on. And then you need to act as if you're making that kind of money. Because if you don't act as if you're already making that kind of money, you will never make that kind of money. People say, well, just like this, well, it's easy for these leaders to have posture because look how successful they are.
No, they
well,
have first.
What comes first? The success or the posture? The posture comes first. And so I think it's very important for people to understand that and to come across in a confident way, because let's face it, I mean, if I'm talking to you as a prospect, one of the things you're evaluating more than the business is me, whether or not I can help you. And if I'm confident in what I'm doing, if I'm confident, even if I'm faking it, because I was taught to fake it until you make it, right? Even if I'm faking it, but I'm speaking with confidence and authority, you're going to be more attracted to the business than if it appears that I want you. If you sense that I'm interviewing you to determine if I want to work with you, you're going to be more drawn for me to select you. But if it appears that, maybe you're like, okay, this guy's like everybody else in network marketing, he's trying to get me into this thing for his own benefit, then you're going to be turned off and not joining. So I mean, a lot of times people think that the business is the most important thing. I don't agree with that. I think that the prospects are evaluating us more than they're evaluating the business. Can this person help me? Do I have confidence in this person? Do I want to work with this person? Could I see this person meeting with my brightest and best prospects? Which is why I always believe in dressing professional, branding myself in a very positive way, so that people can say, hey, he's a kind of guy that I could see myself having him meet with my people.
Well, and I'll say one other thing, because what goes through my head when I hear that is, well, there's so many people that don't necessarily have that today. They don't feel like they have the success or whatever. And we were there when we first started in the business, our first minute in this profession. But what you can do is you can make up in passion and hustle what you might lack in ability today. I mean, if I'm sitting down with you and I'm brand new to the profession, but I'm so passionate, and I'm saying, we're going to hustle together. We're going to learn it together. And if there's a problem, we're going to solve it together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hustle and I'm going to run with you. I don't necessarily need to have all the answers.
No.
Before you're going to have belief in that.
Right.
If I'm willing to hustle and if I've got a lot of passion, and you can read that.
And if you are committed.
Yeah. The passion, commitment, all that stuff, you kind of go, okay, he's learning just like I am, but we can learn together. Okay, he's committed, he's passionate, he's willing to hustle. He can, he can be an asset for me, or she could be an asset for me. Just with those three things, not necessarily skill.
Right.
Because you don't have to have skill in order to be able to be attractive to somebody else.
Well, you look at the story I shared about Jeff Roberti earlier. 18 years old, he's a waiter in a restaurant.
Right.
Okay. What did he have to do? He had to make many more phone calls than I would have had to make, because he hadn't yet developed many of the skills that I had developed. So he had to offset that by working harder.
Right.
And he did. And over the years, and his commitment to personal development as well, he's become just a great person as a result of all that he has been through. So commitment is such a big thing. I mean, when I look at successful leaders in the industry, I mean, they all have the deposit slip mentality. They're focusing on the things that are
deposit slip mentality.
Right.
To define that.
Doing the things that will result in a deposit slip in the bank, which basically means if that phone is to your ear and you're talking to prospects, you're following up with prospects, you're getting decisions, you're getting people started, you're coaching, training your organization, you're being productive with your time, it's going to result in a deposit slip in the bank. But most people confuse activity with accomplishment.
Let's define a couple of those things.
Okay.
What are some of the things that are not productive but end up filling up people's time?
Thinking. They're sitting at home thinking about what they're going to say. They're maybe writing their script for the 500th time. Everything but picking up the phone. They block out time maybe to build their business in the evening, but they sit there and say, well, before I call somebody, I really need to make sure that I'm comfortable with what I'm going to say. And I need to review all this again. Well, before they know it, they say, oh, there's only 15 minutes left. I'm just going to do this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night comes and it's another set of excuses. Where the deposit slip mentality is, you blocked out time to build your business. You block out from 6 till 8. At 6:01, you got that phone to your ear. You're making phone calls. You're being productive. And I think that's a key also to what leads to people's confidence. I mean, if you are the kind of person that is willing to block out time and make those phone calls during that time, you feel great. Those people I just described who don't make the calls, they feel like crap because they didn't do what they should have done, and they have all that negative self-talk, which then destroys their self-esteem, it destroys their self-confidence. But the people who are willing to pick up that phone and make those calls, when they get done, man, they're going in the room, they're high-fiving their spouse, they're excited, they feel good about themselves, they did what they knew they should do and they didn't feel like doing it, and all of a sudden now they have more confidence the next day to do it again, and all of a sudden they start walking a little higher and they start walking a little more, with a little more posture, all because they're willing to do what they know they should do, and that's the key. And part of deposit slip is not just on the phone, but it's getting together with people. A lot of people are trying to, with the technology that's available, do everything over the phone. And no, you need to, that's the confusing thing. Just because you're on the phone doesn't necessarily mean you're being productive. Yes, it's a big part of being productive if it's used the right way, but when people are open to learning more, when they're interested in your opportunity, getting together with those people quickly, keeping the momentum going as quickly as their schedule allows, which is why I'm always saying, how soon could you listen to the video? How soon could we get together? What is your schedule like today or tomorrow? Not, can we get together within the next week? None of that. Or, a lot of times people say, well, when do you think you can listen to the CD? No, it's how soon can you listen to the CD. It's all about momentum. It's all about not only momentum in the prospecting process, but it's all about momentum in getting people started. Just like my sponsor who got me started, it was all about momentum. And a lot of times people sponsor people and they think they're done, but no. Now they got the next phase of helping that person keep going, and it's not even momentum for the next few days or few weeks. It's a business of momentum, keeping that momentum going.
Yeah, every little step of the way. So being on the phone, being face to face in front of people, coaching the people in your organization that deserve it,
right?
Not the ones that are laying there dead, matching energy to energy. Yeah. You hear that over. If they rise, you rise. If they go down, your energy goes down as far as investment of time. And then trying to avoid the cheerleading complex, which is calling all of your peers in your company and telling each other how excited you are, to avoid actually face-to-face interactions with prospects and with new people building their business, move that momentum forward.
And I'll also say that one of the things, I did a recent training on the top 20 characteristics that are common among all top leaders in the industry. And one of those things is that the top leaders in this industry don't talk too much. And when people talk too much, I'll talk to somebody, one of my downlines say, they say, I was just talking to this prospect. Well, how long were you on the phone with them? 30 minutes. You should not be on the phone with somebody that you're inviting to look at your business for 30 minutes. Well, we were kind of catching up on things. No. Hey, you make the phone call. Hey, Eric, I got just a minute, but wanted to give you a call. You say things like that so that you're not spending too much time talking, but I'm sure you think about every leader you know, none of them talk too much.
No.
And so, if you're somebody that talks too much and you know it, then that's something you've got to fix because you're wasting a lot of time talking too much.
Interesting. So interesting. Here's one of my favorite questions. Before I get to that favorite question, there's a lot of people who you talked about face-to-face. I just want to follow up with one thing. There's some people that just say, you know what, I don't want to do the face-to-face thing. We have systems for that. Send them to the system. Sponsor somebody, send them to the next step. Then have them call you when they're done. And then send them to the next step, have them call you when they're done. There's kind of tacticians, and then there's culture builders, relationship builders, different kinds of people. I think the difference in income is massive. My read on you is that early on you were a pretty heavy tactician and you shifted and you became more of a culture builder. Is that accurate? Just because you're such a trainer.
Right. I've never thought about that before. I don't.
What do you think?
I don't know how much I've changed over the years. I'm
pretty consistent.
Pretty consistent, yeah.
Okay.
And
all right, got it. Okay, my favorite question.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of defining moments in your business, in your career, in this profession. That something that happened that fundamentally changed you. Some experience that you went through that fundamentally changed you. And I'm sure you've had a dozen of them or more, like I have. But when I asked you the question, I'm sure that there's also one that popped into your brain that was probably the dominant defining moment. And so for everybody else, and we haven't talked about this prior to that question, what was that defining moment for you?
Well, one thing that goes through my mind is when I came in this industry, after 4 months, I was making $31,000 a month. I went to a point where all of a sudden I was able to qualify for a greater level of earnings because of a level that I reached. And, I got a check for $31,600.
19 years ago.
Yeah, that was a record with that company that I was with at the time out of more than 2 million people that joined. And that was a pretty strong defining moment, and that is that this is for real. I mean, I even remember depositing it and thinking, is it going to clear the bank? I mean, it was that kind of a check. And obviously since then I've had checks over 200,000. So,
right.
But that was a moment for me that really just showed that if you follow the systems, if you build your business right, you can really achieve great success. And let me just also say that on that thing about the tactician a moment ago, that question you asked, you won't find anybody who is highly successful in this industry who has the mentality that you just said about, we've got systems, I don't need to get together face-to-face with people. Somebody who says they don't need to get together face-to-face with people is clearly somebody who does not understand one of the most basic fundamentals of how to build this business. If you're not getting together face-to-face with people, your conversion rates are low and your attrition is high. And there's just nobody you can see in the industry who had that mentality. This is an industry, this is a business of relationships. It's the glue that holds it together. It allows you to have high conversion rates, it allows you to have a high success rate of retention within your organization. And so people who have that mentality that they're just going to plug people into systems, they're going to send out videos, they're going to do everything they need to do but get together with people, those are people who clearly are not coachable, or they're being poorly coached, because that's not how you build a successful business.
Okay, so hiding out is not going to get you where you want to go.
Building an internet business. I'm going to sit at home on my butt, make phone calls, send out videos, send out CDs, send out magazines, whatever it is, and build a business. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Well, the information today, I mean, we could go for days.
Yeah, it would be fun.
And it would be fun. And sometime, it'd be fun to get a bunch of these, 10, 20, $30 million people all in the same room and have a real kind of brainstorming session. We may do that at some point. But there's going to be tens of thousands of people that watch this interview. So I don't know what thing you're kind of known for, what you're most passionate about, but if you have a message for those people, there's people watching this that are just looking at our profession that have not yet got involved, and people who've gotten involved and haven't had the success that they want and want the success, and every level of success beyond that. What message would you have for them? Go ahead and give it to them.
Well, first of all, this industry is not on trial. So the industry is not on trial. And, depending upon what company they're looking at, I mean, obviously your company's not on trial, my company's not on trial. At the end of the day, who's on trial is the individual. And another thing that's common among all successful people is their commitment. You're not successful in this business unless you have made a commitment that's obvious to everybody around you. Because when people say, well, I'm going to try this, I hope I can be successful, they're not going to be successful because they've already made up their mind, I'm going to see how it goes. So, my advice to people is that you can be successful. I mean, if you just apply yourself, if you're coachable, big word, coachable. I mean, one of the things I've learned is if you want to be successful, learn from those who have been successful. Just like people are watching this video, they're learning what they need to do to be successful. And, so be coachable. Follow your company's systems. Use your company's tools. And don't quit. I mean, winners never quit and quitters never win. And that's a big part of this, is just make the commitment, understand that, there's no road to success that's free of obstacles. If you read Success Magazine, almost every story in there of somebody's success is filled with the challenges they've had. And, oftentimes people will have a failure, or they call somebody who tells them they're not interested, and, they're heartbroken. I mean, not everybody likes chocolate chip cookies, not everybody likes vanilla ice cream, not everybody likes coffee, not everybody's going to like a product that we sell, not everybody's going to be interested in our business, and it's a numbers game. And I think that's one of the advantages I had coming from real estate, is I know that everything in life is a numbers game. And so for people that want to be successful, I think it's so important they come into the business and they're committed, they're coachable, they understand it's a numbers game, and that they understand that if they grow, their business will grow. And that, you know, for some people it will take longer than others. I mean, you and I both know there's all kinds of stories of people in this industry who didn't make much money until their third or fourth year, but now have gone on and earned many millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so for some people it happens faster than others, and oftentimes those are the people who may have come into the business with a different skill set, maybe people who are a little more disciplined, willing to work a little harder. But at the end of the day, if people don't quit and they just continue to grow and develop themselves and continue to strive for excellence, and that's, you know, if I was to say my key to success has been that I have strived for excellence at the little things that matter. The little things you say on that invitation call, the little things you say on the follow-up call, the little things that you do in getting your people started. It's all about every time you get off the phone saying, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I be better on the next call? When you get together with somebody, how did I do? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I have done better next time? Every time you get a new person started, how did that go? What did I do well? What could I have done better? And if you continue to strive for excellence, if you continue every day to get better, if every night you go to bed you say, I am a person of greater value today than I was yesterday, then you're growing and your income will grow. There's no way that you can continue to grow and get better and better and not have your business and your rank and your check follow it. It just a fundamental law of life. You're going to grow and bring more value to the market. Your income and rank are going to grow. And so that's the most important thing for people to do at the end of the day. If they want to measure their success, it's not by the size of their check. It's who they are, who they have become, and have they grown that day. And if they've grown that day, then they will, over time, continue to grow and develop a very successful business. So,
well, Todd, I'm so grateful, and I know everybody here is too, is grateful that you're spending a little time giving back to the entire profession, spreading this around the world. This will be seen all over the world. So I appreciate you taking the time to do it.
A lot of fun here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I will tell you. If you enjoyed what you heard throughout this interview, I hope that you comment, and I hope you forgive the coughing. I've got a little bit of an allergy thing going on. But I hope that you comment. What did you like? What did you not like? Be part of the discussion with us inside of this whole Network Marketing Pro community. If you haven't gone to Facebook, there's a Network Marketing Pro fan page that has lots of articles and information that's all free for you, and all part of a greater discussion, and that we continue after these shows end. Third, if you're on Twitter, if you're find me, twitter.com/Eric Worre. And again, we're building a great community over there. So let me close by saying this as always. My hope for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. Mr. Smith here is the quintessential network marketing professional. I hope you decide to go pro. If you do, you can be the change with us that our great profession is looking for. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.